Nominated by President Obama to head the TSA. He's a former FBI counterterrorism agent and, of course, the former chief of Homeland Security and Intelligence for the LA World Airports Police Department. I saw him this morning on Savannah Guthrie on Rundown. Ginger McCall is staff counsel and assistant director for the Open Government Project for the Electronic Privacy Information Center. She's suing the Department of Homeland Security to suspend the program due to privacy concerns and health risks. Mr. Sutherland, thank you so much. What I loved about you this morning on Rundown is how clear you are in explaining this. What right now is the use of scanners and pat-downs? What if I went to National Airport? I can tell you, but you tell me professionally, what do you face if you travel to visit a relative this weekend in an American airline?
Well, if you travel this weekend, and I'll be honest with you, Chris, I've traveled extensively over the last 2 weeks and have not been subjected to advanced imaging technology or a pat-down. But if you do go to the airport, you are then going to go through the routine procedure. And if you trigger a sensor, you'll have to be asked then to go to secondary. Secondary may include advanced imaging technology, and you'll go through that protocol. If you opt out of advanced imaging technology, you'll be subjected to a pat-down, as has been discussed for the last week or so.
Now, in Washington, it's somewhat different. In Washington, and I go about 200 times a year through National Reagan Airport, basically you have, it's almost like a lottery. Most of the times you get the magnetonic, the regular the metal detector. But you might go in and find yourself in a line that goes through the new scanner, the image scanner, and that would happen to you if you just happen to be in that line. Is that the way you see it, Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so here's the question. What do you think we should be doing to check people at airports?
Well, first,
what do you think we should be doing? That's my question.
What should we be doing?
Yes.
We should be focusing more on lawfully gathering intelligence.
On who would we get intelligence on? Everybody comes to the airport?
In this instance, like with the terrorist attack last year, we had the intelligence that we needed to act on that.
No, don't change the question. This is hardball. I'm asking a serious question. We have thousands of people in line at the airport every day, all trying to get on the airplane. What do we do with those thousands of people to make sure they're not a danger to the country or the people in those planes? How do we make sure those people are not a danger?
Yes, we focus on developing technology that respects privacy while also giving us security. These body scanners.
Now, what do we do to check on those people waiting in line? How do we make sure they're not carrying a bomb?
We can use technology.
What is that? What technology?
ATR, the automated target recognition technology, automated threat recognition technology. It's something that's being put in place in airports around the world. TSA is actually, hopefully, working on developing this technology. It basically, instead of displaying a naked image of a traveler, it displays an avatar image or a stick figure, and then it targets, if there's a specific anomaly, it targets that area for further inspection.
But we don't have that technology.
That technology has been developed. It's continuing to be developed. What we need to do is to ensure that that technology is not just overlaid on these machines that can store and transfer.
Well, can we do this today?
Yes, we can. It's in place in airports, I believe, in the Netherlands.
Are you familiar with this technology, Errol?
I am familiar with some form of this technology, but she does have a good point. It's about intelligence, and I think we should be looking at the traveling public. I think what we should be leaning toward is a trusted traveler program where people are willing to submit themselves voluntarily to higher scrutiny, getting a background check, having a passport which will then take a scan of their hand, their retina, and then they can go through the system. Now we have a risk-based
I heard that the airlines screw that because they hate that, because they want to be able to charge you for business class or first class, and then they can charge you more to get in a shorter line. They do not want somebody coming along and saying, here's your card, you should be able to get on that plane fast. Is that true? Is it the airlines that want that money? They want you to pay to get in a shorter line. Is that what's going on right now?
I don't know that that's true. I can say, being a registered traveler with the global entry, that I had to pay $100 for 5 years. It's good for international travel. It's worth it to me. It is a good deal. It's worth it to me. It does not mean you bypass screening. It means they still look at your bags for prohibited items. You're still walking through the magnetometer.
You know, I'm one of those travelers that really doesn't care. I mean, I travel constantly. I am glad. I know we're in a world of danger. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And by the way, I will argue to this, and this is just an argument, and you're just coming on the show for the first time, Ginger, that if we get hit again, we're going to have a much tougher, whatever we're going to call it, profile, people are going to really looking for the bad guys. And they're not going to be so nice about it, because the minute we let more people through and blow up a plane because we're trying to be nice about it, and so, well, we could have stopped the guy. Here's my question. Why don't we go through this question? Is it the smart thing to do to look, as you said this morning, to look for the bombers, not the bomb. Shouldn't you focus more on people who've been to a lot of countries that have been against us, countries in the Middle East that are out to get us, where there's a lot of terrorists? Shouldn't we be looking for people with those kinds of travel histories, those kinds of that kind of information? You can call it profiling, but that gets to the question of driving while black in this country, all the history of that stuff. I'm talking about actual looking for people that would be from the problem areas. Can we do that? Now,
I think we can do that. I think we should do that. I think we should be focusing on the human element. And Chris, you hit the nail on the head. We should be looking at travel patterns. We should be looking at histories. There's certain people we have to look at. I know that profiling is a very bad word in this country, but there's a human element to this. Terrorism occurs because human beings cause terrorism to occur. So we've got to get better again looking for the bomber.
Well, I would be totally against this. Any American should, against anybody because they're dark-skinned or because of anything else about them. But you go through their documents, where they've come from, their nationality is a fair game, isn't it? Is it fair game? Do you think it's fair game?
No.
You don't think it's fair game to check a person's nationality?
You're dealing with a dynamic enemy. You're dealing with intelligent people who are going to outsmart that. If they know that you're going to be looking at a specific ethnicity,
we're talking about how do you reduce the length of... Okay, you don't want to do anything then.
No, absolutely
not.
You want
to use the technology that hasn't been put online yet.
That technology has been put online. It's been put online in airports. I want to use intelligence that exists. We had the intelligence that we needed last Christmas. And, importantly, these machines are not effective against powdered explosives. They are not designed to detect powdered explosives. If you look at Rapiscan's website, if you look at the procurement specifications document that we have up on our website, that TSA authored, these machines were not designed to detect PETN and powdered explosives.
So we're using the wrong machines.
We are using ineffective machines that violate people's privacy and give them the illusion of security.
Why are we doing it?
Probably because there's a lot of money that changes hands. National security theater. It makes people feel better.
What do you mean a lot of money changes hands?
$170,000 each for these machines. $2.4 billion in the GAO report.
So I'm following you. What about the money changing hands? Who's getting this money you're talking about?
Probably the same revolving door people that
so our government is there's dirty business here.
Well, there's a problem with a revolving door. People going from agencies.
You're saying we're buying faulty equipment because somebody is getting the money who has influence.
Yes, there's an.
Who are you accusing here specifically?
Well, Michael Chertoff has been shown to have ties to these companies.
Okay, so Michael Chertoff is what, in the tank with some businesses that are doing business with the government? You're saying?
Yes.
Okay, how about Ray LaHood?
Not familiar.
Well, he's the head of transportation safety. I mean, he's head of the Department of Transportation. Is he part of this problem?
I can't really speak to that.
But you're saying we have machinery now because a Republican in the past administration had some sweetheart deal with some suppliers, some vendors.
It's not just Chertoff. TSA has a history of this.
Who else is involved in bed with these, buying these faulty machines?
I'm not going to name names for you. I can talk about the machines and their capabilities and their lack of
See, we're finally getting to the bottom of it. You believe the United States government is using faulty machinery because of corrupt deals.
I think that this machinery, I know that this machinery is not effective at detecting.
And you're saying because Michael Chertoff, who was head of Transportation Safety, who was the head of Homeland Security, was involved in this.
That's the only reason that I can see for the United States spending $2.4 billion on technology that's not effective at picking up the powdered explosives.
Do you know anything about this, Earl? Do you have any reason to believe that our government's corrupt when it comes to Homeland Security and protecting us in airports?
I want to believe that the American security apparatus is acting in the best interest of keeping Americans safe, and that the administration, meaning the TSA at this point, has acted with whatever information they have that rose to the level of scrutiny that we have now.
Wow.
I think at the end of the day, we all want the right thing, which is for people to be safe and secure in traveling about the country and the world.
Well, I want to have Michael Chertoff, if you're watching, I want you on the show to defend yourself. That's a serious charge. You've just accused him of corruption.
I am not accusing him of corruption.
You accused him of buying faulty equipment because of deals that are made with sweetheart arrangements with vendors.
TSA has a history of buying equipment before they've actually demonstrated the effectiveness
Why
of
have
this
they done it in this case? You said it because of a sweetheart arrangement with vendors.
That would be speculation. And I can
you're admitting you're speculating.
Well, I can say that Chertoff is connected. That came out last year. With the developers and the manufacturers.
Therefore, he made a deal he shouldn't have had on behalf of the U.S. government.
That's not really what I'm here to speak about. I can tell you about the fact that these machines are not effective.
Well, you're on the record. You're on the record, Ginger McCall, with accusing Michael Chertoff of dirty business on behalf of the United States.
Well, I think that I'd probably not be alone in that, and I think that he himself has admitted that he has ties to these companies.
You made a serious charge. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.